Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. Thank you so much for joining. I would like to ask if you can hear me. Please be kind enough to say yes in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, my name is Yemisi Legoshe. And today I want to talk about RESP, which is Registered Education Savings Plan. And it is important for parents to know the benefit, especially if you're a new immigrant and you have never heard about RESP. I will be privileged to be able to share this information with you. RESP simply means Registered Education Savings Plan. And this is a plan that you can set up for your child when you're a permanent resident. Your child is a permanent resident or a citizen, and the child is younger than 17. You can actually set up your child's RESP and watch it grow. And it is not just about opening the account, you can actually invest that the amount of money you put into the RESP, you can invest it for your children, right? Whether you have one or you have several children. So number one is the RESP can be invested in different plans. It could be invested in mutual funds, segregated funds. It could be invested in stocks, bonds, ETF. It could be invested in what we call um, Canadian stocks. You could also invest it in GIC or high interest savings accounts. So permit me to share my screen, and I believe you will be able to learn a thing or two. And let me know if you have questions in the chat. So I'll go to the next slide. Right. This slide, I actually got it from the Government of Canada's website. Once you type RESP PDF, this is how I got the form. I didn't create it by myself, I got it online. Registered Education Savings Plan. If you're a permanent resident, your child is a permanent resident or you're a citizen, you can open it for your child. So you also need to know that the cost of education in Canada is not free, even if you're a permanent resident or you're a citizen. Money, is tuition fee still has to be paid, right? So, if you're already receiving Canada Education Savings Grant, Canada Child Benefit, right? If you're receiving Canada Child Benefit, it's going to be very wise for parents to start investing for their children. And they say tiny drops of water makes a mighty ocean. You can set up the account for your child with as little as $25, $50, $100, right? Depending on what you can actually afford. According to CRA, in 1 year, a parent is allowed to put 2,500 in 1 year. 2,500 divided by 12, that gives us around $208, and 208. And parents can start investing for their children under the RESP if you want to. Now, it's not only opening the RESP and just dumping money there. The money should actually be invested, okay? And you can select the investment option that you want when you open the account, okay? You are going to see here, it is written boldly, where can you open the account? Where? You can open it with any financial institution that is registered. You will need your social insurance number and also the social insurance number for your child. And as you can see on this, you you can actually open the RESP for your child through a bank, credit union, or through a certified financial advisor like myself, and we are able to help you set it up from the comfort of your home, which is very nice. And you can be on your couch, on your bed, on your phone, and I'm able to help you set up your child's RESP and explain all that you need to know about the Registered Education Savings Plan. Wonderful. Right. There is a minimum amount of money that you need to put into the RESP if you want to receive the government benefit. However, if you're a permanent resident, your child is a permanent resident or you're a citizen, and you don't even have money to put into the RESP, if you open it, even with $0, you will qualify to receive Canada Learning Bond. Okay, so that is the first type of benefit that is added to your child's RESP. It's called Canada Learning Bond. Canada Learning Bond. So, but when you want to receive other benefits, which is the most popular one, Canada Education Savings Grant, you have to contribute to the RESP for you to be able to qualify to receive, or for your child to be able to qualify to receive the Canada Education Savings Grant. And then the Canada Education Savings Grant means if you were to put uh, the amount of money that you're allowed to put into the RESP, your child is going to receive 20% Canada Education Savings Grant. For each child, for each child from age of 2 weeks to age 17, the total amount of money that parents are allowed to put into the child's RESP is $50,000. So from the time that the child is 2 weeks old to 17 years old, yeah, the total amount of money that parents are allowed to put into the RESP is $50,000. Right. So now There are some there are some specific monthly contribution that you need to set up for your child's RESP, right? It all depends on you. You can put it randomly once in a while, you can put it monthly. It all depends on what you are comfortable to do. So RESP means Registered Education Savings Plan for your children, and it helps you to save and invest for your child's post-secondary education. Okay. Can you open RESP for yourself if you are maybe a teenager? Fantastic. The answer is here. Yes, you can. And there are different plans for RESP. There's family plan, there is individual plan. In the family plan RESP, okay, you can name one or more children as beneficiaries. The children must be related to you. They may be your children, including adopted children, brothers, sisters, grandchildren. They have to be related to you. Individual plan, right, is for only one person. That is the RESP individual plan. Then there is the group plan. In a group plan, your savings are combined with those of other people. So you can have the group RESP, and then the family RESP, and then the individual RESP. So there are fees attached to some investment. Okay, before you open RESP, you need to understand that every investment comes with a fee. Even if you invest in mutual funds, there's a fee attached. You invest in sec funds, there's a fee attached. Even GIC too. There is one, I think 0.4% commission, which is low, right? So your money, the money that you put into the RESP should be invested. Okay, so while the money is added to the RESP gradually, monthly or annually, the money will not be taxed. The money goes tax free. But when the RESP is to be withdrawn, that is maybe the child is ready to go to school, it's going to be taxable. And if the child has low income, it also means their marginal tax is going to be low. Okay. Okay. Every child up to 17 is eligible to receive the Canada Education Savings Grant as long as the child is a Canadian resident and the parent has opened RESP for the child. The Canada Education Savings Grant is designed to encourage long-term savings for education for your child. and the money is going to be invested for you. How do you get the Canada Education Savings Grant? It's actually automatic. Once you do the application, we do the application with you, you will be able to receive the Canada Education Savings Grant. Now, depending on how much you own, how much you have put into the policy, you should qualify to receive 20%. On the first 500 you save in your child's RSP account, the Canada Education Savings Grant will give you up to 200 if your net family income is 38,832 or less, up to 150 if your net family income is between 38,832 to 77,664, up to 100 if your net family income is more than this. Okay, so for the Canada Education Savings Grant, the amount of money that the government of Canada will add to the registered education savings plan is going to depend on your family income. Okay, and then you see that family income is mentioned here. Canada Learning Bond is money the government of Canada helps modest income families start saving early for their child's education. You will be able to qualify to receive a free $500 on behalf of your child when you open the Canada Learning Bond, assuming you are low income, you're not working, you're a permanent resident, you just came to Canada, you're still looking for that job. When you decide to open the RSP for your child at that time, you will qualify to receive $500 Canada Learning Bond for your child. You can put it online and you can verify that information. So if your family qualifies, the government of Canada will automatically pay Canada Learning Bond $500 into your child's RESP. Canada Learning Bond, that is what it is called. Sahad, how are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you for following. Okay, so RESP means Registered Education Savings Plan. It's a good way to invest gradually for your child's education, and there are other types of investment for children younger than 17, but the topic today is typically just RESP so that we can focus on it. But for children that are younger than 17, okay, there are two major investments that parents can set up for children that are younger than 17 in Canada. The first one is RESP, which we are talking about today, and the second one is cash value life insurance policy for parents that are actually interested in creating a future for their children and creating options for them where they can actually use the policy for anything, education, buying a house, and all of that. So I also want to stress it here. When you open your child's RESP, there are three major benefits from the government of Canada. The first one is the Canada Learning Bond. Not everybody will receive it. If your income is above a certain threshold, you are not going to receive that Canada Learning Bond. Okay. The second one is the popular one, Canada Education Savings Grant. You'll be able to receive that on behalf of your child, depending on how much you contribute into the plan. And then the third benefit is called provincial benefit. It is only Quebec and British Columbia that offer the provincial benefit for your children. Okay, so if you are going to school part-time, RESP can still be used. The funds you have in your RESP will be used. What happens to the RESP if your child does not go to school after higher education? If your child decides not to continue higher going to school after high school, sorry, you may be able to wait a while. Your child will decide to continue studying later. RESP account may remain open for up to age 36, right? You can transfer the money to to another child. You can transfer the money into a registered retirement plan for your child to help you save for your retirement. You can transfer the money into a registered savings plan to help save for retirement, or you can withdraw your contribution. So now, depending on the amount of money that you contributed to the RESP, you can withdraw your contribution. But the government grant that has been paid into the RESP, since the child is not going to school, you will not be able to recover that. Okay. If you touch or withdraw from your child's RESP before the child goes to school, unfortunately, it is going to be subject to taxes. Okay. So the money you have put into the RESP has generated interest. So if you withdraw the money from your child's RESP, okay, before they gain admission to school, the interest that it has earned, the interest that your child's RESP has earned is subject to taxes. Okay, it is subject to taxes. Okay, the interest that you have earned on your RESP for your child is called accumulated income, and it will be taxed at regular income tax level plus an additional 20%. That is the consequences of saying you want to spend that money before your child pursues post-secondary education. Okay, excuse me. What happens to the Government of Canada grant if your child decides not to go continue education after high school? The Canada Education Savings Grant may be used for a sibling if the brother or sister is eligible. If not, the grant is going to be returned to the Government of Canada. The Canada Learning Bond can be transferred to another child and must be returned to the Government of Canada. Oh, the Canada Learning Bond cannot be transferred, sorry, cannot be transferred to another child and must be returned to the Government of Canada. The amount that you contributed to the RESP and the interest it earned goes back to you. Okay, so the RESP can stay open for 36 years. So during that period, if a child is reluctant to go to school after high school, they can still go to school. So that is what happens to the money in RESP if your child decides not to pursue post-secondary education after high school. Okay. Okay. Before you open RESP, you have to know that your child has a social insurance number. Okay, your child has a social insurance number and your child is a PR or a citizen for you to be able to open RESP. Okay. And the minimum amount of money that you're allowed to put into the RESP is going to vary depending on the financial institution that you set it up with. So I'm able to set up your child's RESP from the comfort of your home, and I'm able to guide you on the different options, whether you want to invest it in GIC, high interest savings accounts, or you want to invest it in stock, bonds, mutual funds, sec funds. I'm able to guide you on that journey. So I hope you learned a thing or two today about your child's RESP. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you so much, and I'm super grateful you joined.